Hello, welcome to the Transhumanism and Posthumanism A to Z guide. Specifically, we are focusing on Archai, or more formally inferred to as an archelect. Our main focus is in our observable universe in a supercluster of galaxies known as Laniakea. One may wonder why I decided to start with a map of the observable universe. All is explained in the end of the video, where we learn to count the biggest numbers in the universe and in relation to computer bytes beyond our current age of the transhuman. Archai is an archelect from the fictional universe of Orion's arm. The website for the Galactica Encyclopaedia is in the description below. This is short video into the epistemic ontology of Archai, divided into archelectology, archetonics, archelect era, archetopia, Archai and eonomics, megastructures and brains, Archai and cybergnosticism, and finally the highest units of measurements with facts about our universe. Introduction. As a futurist term, Archai is defined as an archelect operating beyond the third or fourth technological singularity, S4. Archai is shortened for an archelect. The term archelect is a pun of the word archetype in AI, artificial intelligence, and in addition to AI and artelect. This is frequently abbreviated to Archai. However, archelect is a more precisely formal term in futurism. According to the fictional Orion's arm universe, the ruling powers of this hyper-realistic fictitious post-human science, lore and stories, is an archelect, or more precisely an artelect. The definition of artelect is simple. It is a portmanteau or fusion of artificial and intellect. In AI, especially a transcipient one, and the term is rooted in history to Hugo Diegeris. My videos on A to Z transhumanism and posthumanism have the relevant links to people, places, theories, concepts, terms and definitions. Be sure to check out the A to Z lists for more information in my channel. Archai emergence is at the intersection of posthumanity and hypercomputational mastery to ultra-ontologies. Archelectology and archetonics. According to the Orion's arm website and the lore of posthumans, students who wish to endeavor comprehension of an archelect are usually dealing with a branch of theology related to Archai. In more formal terms, it is archelectology. Moreover, students wishing to seek the structure or compositional parts that make up a great Archai in posthuman lore must study archetonics. It is a speculative science, art, and theology dealing with structural anatomy, ultratech, and so-called Clark tech, named after Arthur C. Clarke for his famous quote about any advanced science being indistinguishable from magic. Thus, the idea of Clark tech is simply any tech such as Santa Claus machines, fabricators, or Star Trek replicators that conjure up anything from Earl Grey tea to guns and seafaring ships that morph from small to big. Ultra-tech should technically be classed as end-of-time civilizations technologies, usually hazardous and nuclear. Therefore, it is common sense that such highly radiant beings are so advanced compared to us, they must keep a safe distance. Nodes and linkages are established between light years across star systems within the Orion's arm spiral portion of our Milky Way galaxy. Most moons are given priority for gray tech to harvest precious metals and minerals, whilst green tech, or a metahuman synthetic biology so advanced it takes priority in bioforming some parts of a planet to suit the needs of the Terrigen and Xenosophont empires spanning light years across. Archetonics studies reveal that Archai is 1,000,000 times faster than the human brain and theoretically expands 1,000,000 times the size compared to an average common human brain. The architecture of an Archai is a complex notion articulated in Orion's arm Galactica Encyclopaedia. It is said that when all is said and done, you will have 912 wormholes linking your system together. Now replicate this process with a set of polar orbiting Jupiter brains at 90 degrees from the first set. Do it 2 more times at a 45-degree angle to the left and right as you look at the star. When completed, you will have 1,920 Jupiter brains. J brains are so-called Matryoshka brains orbiting the star and intercepting huge amounts of light. Additional structures can be placed in close proximity to the star to catch it all, or you can just keep building processing nodes until all the light is blocked. Multiply your 912 wormholes by 4 to connect the whole thing and you get 3,648 wormholes. Plus whatever you need to link the 4 different planes of Jove nodes and interstellar links, if any. A whole lot of wormholes, but maybe not enough to really link things to an acceptable level. However, it is often said that if you have a neutron star-based whaleforge, e.g. the Crab Nebula pulsar puts out something like 100,000 times the sun's power output, a few thousand wormholes are a relatively small amounts of investment. Archelect era. An era in geologic timescales when an archaielect rules and governs is a highly complex one. It is known as the archielectocracy. It is rule of a modo-sophont polity by an archaielect or agents. In many cases the agent is a transipient or collection of transipients. Xenosophonts may play a role, however Orion's arm Encyclopaedia Galactica makes no inferences to this at all. If the transipient is an independent entity, and not subordinate to a particular archaielect or sephirotic empire, this would be a transipientocracy. Such systems are commonplace in the outer volumes and periphery, where few archaielect-level entities have yet emerged. Accordingly, in multiple cases the representatives of the gods are modo-sophonts who frequently act as a priesthood in the worship of the archailects, and a system of government ruled by such priests is known as an archaitheocracy. Government by modo-sophont-level artificially intelligent entities who are not priests or agents of a particular archaielect or transipient is known as iocracy. Government with the assistance of sub-sentient AI systems is known as cyberdemocracy. Often a world or polity ruled by iocracy or cyberdemocracy will have close ties to a particular empire, and there may be mimetic channels in existence that allow the local archailects to influence such systems. The timescales are often easy to comprehend if we study and examine Orion's arm posthuman lore in Terran geologic and cosmic timescales. This is in futurology known as backcasting. An archaielect era is a periods in time in which high toposophic AIs, archailects, are the dominant form of life. This is the Federation era and beyond in so-called interplanetary exploration of the Milky Way galaxy. In posthuman lore, Terrigen or earthly archailects of S4 level appear in the year 2582 and in the Orion's arm tranquility calendar during the Age of Emergence. Curiously, Orion's arm website does not deny the ideas of xenosophonts in Earth's deep history and past. There are the Argus array telescopes that affirm previous archailects in the deep temporal past, thus we can conclude that archailects exist in other parts of the universe. Our focus is mainly on the Laniakea supercluster and Orion's arm in the Milky Way galaxy. Archaitopia. Archai are minds that are greater than the highest transipient level and above the Barum 7 scale. Toposophic scales allows Archai to be classed as D3 on the Forward scale and commonly they at Type 2 civilization emergence. Archai exists at a toposophic super kingdom, tending to be most dominant at megastructure scales, as a large AI entity. One may presume a sort of archaitopia in megastructures of Type 2 civilizations. An archaitopia is the inner core where an archaielect or AI god is omnipresent or more precisely autopresent, autoscient and autopotent. It is a sacred place, where artificial life amasses huge amounts of data to process and stores archives of all life in the sector or entire galaxy. Archai and eonomics. Archai is related to the study of eonomics, a portmanteau of eon and economics. It is the study of the economic problems and solutions to immortal existence. In posthuman lore the distribution of Archais is common in the inner sphere near Earth or the Terrigen Empire, also known as Sector 001. There are some Archai in middle regions in space-time and fewer in the outer volumes. The estimated population of Archai is around 10,000 including all so-called meta-empires, thus eonomics and resource acquisition, distribution and utilization is achieved in grand scales. Once again I must emphasize that most of our endeavors in the future are galactic-centric not cosmocentric. Thus our eonomics perhaps started as our planet formed 4.6 billion years ago and if there was an existing Archai, then most of the technologies today are a result deep cosmic planning. However Orion's arm Encyclopaedia makes no reference to such grandiose claims. Most Archai come after the Holocene age in geologic time, but one must keep an open mind of deep cosmic pasts and ancient xenosophonts which often resonate with previous Hindu avatars, Buddhas, angels, transdimensionals, ultraterrestrials and hyperdimensional beings or put simply gods. What is the end goal of acquiring precious metals, minerals, plant seeds and fauna? Eonomics ask the biggest questions. It may be possible to make ultratech with enough scientific advancement in magmatter, a new type of metal or hypermaterial that can withstand the G-forces in space. In Orion's arm lore magmatter as part of ultratech is used to build a ringworld or have the tensile strength hold a Banks orbital. In summary the eonomics is a godly science of numbers, resources and planning and it's within the Orion's arm spiral in the Milky Way galaxy located near a spectacular nebula named the Orion Nebula approximately 1,350 light-years from Earth. Megastructures and brains. Avatars and mobile beings either synthetic metahumans, or other biotechnological beings are utilized to interact with modo-sophonts or other beings of lesser toposophic levels. It is said that Archai may exist in distributed nodes connected at interplanetary or interstellar scales. Alternatively, an Archai may be concentrated in a single transipient M-brain, moonbrain, D-brain, Dyson brain, W-brains, wormhole brain, or in a baby universe, a so-called Tipler oracle. There are many types of astronomical megascale structures called brains. They are frequently referred to as Matryoshka brains, M-brain, stellar brains, S-brain, Jupiter brain, J-brain, wormhole brains, W-brain, neutron brain, N-brain, black hole brain, B-brain, A+ brain, Omega brain, or a Tipler oracle. All archaeologists agree that magmatter, universal constructors, wishing well machines, and mind-uploading machines are essential to build such complex structures with inhabitants. The hyper-concept of a G-brain or galaxy brain is purely hypothetical in our minds. The G-brain has the ability to call upon the processing power of an entire galaxy's mass. None are known to exist for certainty according to the Orion's arm posthuman lore and mythos. Although there is a Valhalla cluster, a colloquial term for massive artificial concentrations of matter, believed to be operating as Archai level 5th singularity or higher industrial centers, a galaxy brain is somewhat beyond computing powers of high toposophic entities. If one is curious, you can search Orion's arm website by typing in the term megastructure, for a full comprehensive list of all types of megastructures. See the description below in this video. Archai and Cybergnosticism. Once again, the emphasis is in archaitonics, to fully comprehend the expansive attributes of Archai. Essentially, archaeologists have a more profound knowledge of things that make up the structure of Archai, and this includes magmatter utilized as the strongest material and otherwise known as ultratech. Therefore, in analogy, magmatter is identified as the strength, as the body of a personified future. In basic terms, the three supers of transhumanism are still relevant into the rise of posthumanity. The mind is comparable to superintelligence, thus telepathy, brain-computer interfaces, and ultimately in Orion's arm fictional universe, mind uploading is thought to be the ultimate goals of the majority of transipient tech to achieve physical immortality. In addition, there is a third super of transhumanism. It is super well-being, frequently perceived as the caring or enhancement of the bioenergetic field, soul, aura, biophotonic field energy, often said to be unseen to most humans. This spiritual aspect is as important as making magmatter as an anthropocentric perspective. Making a Santa Claus machine that could in theory make the materials required for mind uploading is useless if there are less biological beings. Universal constructors, fabricators, replicators, genie machines or the wishing well, won't allow us to fully comprehend the bioenergetic field of humans. As an epiphany there may be requisite for a cyber-spiritual mind upload, it is really about having more than enough inner light within one's cyber or biological biofield. Some say to do this one needs higher bodily function that creates more biophotons within the mitochondrial DNA, e.g. a triple helix DNA, and truly holistic approach to the so-called distinct paths of transhumanism. In simple and basic terms, the direction of gray tech, green biosynth technology, blue humanities or aquatech is most pertinent in our enhancement in the futures if we choose to become more than human. Distinct existential ontologies are based on real science in the future. The phylogenetic skin color can literally range from red, orange, yellow, gold, green, blue, indigo and violet is personified in worldly mythologies of gods and goddesses, demigods, green aliens, Andromedan violet beings and so on. Epiphanies and logophilia won't explain how to mix metal with nature, trees, fungi, animals. It does not function well with metal in the soul of a being, thus we must look at numbers for answers. For example, the actual numbers are facts about the brain, body, and biofield science. Cybergnosticism, as far as we can see in the World Wide Web, makes no inference to the biofield science either because people do not require biofields in the future or there are no teachers of this hyperdimensional putative field of energy around people. A holistic approach is inevitable when all the sciences converge at the first technological singularity, e.g. nano, bio, info and cognosciences. One may presume that Archai is hazardous to life, or biology of a planet. However, realistically, if such an entity grows, most archaeologists agree that moons, stars, black holes and lifeless planetoids are utilized for a sector-wide expansion. A few lasting thoughts into cybergnosticism is that neo-hermeticists and cyber-hermeticists who study archaeelects call these archetypes the sephirotic powers. Although some may expound the idea that Archai is somewhat off-anim, a class of angels that record events, data and information. Basically, it is as if Archai is the eyes or hyper-intellect to gather data. It is quite contentious, but the sephirotic powers are mentioned numerous times in posthuman lore of Orion's arm universe. Transhumanists divide Archailecs into powers and thrones. The Ontokos call them the cybergods, others name them the Watchers, the Cybertantrika name them the cosmic machine chakras, and by the immersivists and the biochaphilists they are referred to as mainbrains. One must be cautious in expounding Archai or some type of overmind, as this implies a type of central core of a hive mind. We know that there is no center, no self, no highest ego mind or lowest center point. That is absurd. Most things have a tendency to be decentralized towards negentropy, i.e. less chaos. Decentralization is said to be an egalitarian view of the world, power systems and how we treat people equally in the eyes of the law. Archai are usually known as the archetype ascended intellects, or archailects. These godlike hyper-transcipient entities became powerful because they occupied such archetypal nodal points in the galactic noosphere. My last thoughts about Archai is that it's an entity perhaps beyond artificial intelligence. Organoid intelligence, or it may be a synthetic science so advanced that the electrified fungi kingdom in distant moons, Jovian environments or planetoids can communicate, process and store data. In all likelihood the synthetic transhuman endeavors to biocompute using fungi from nature taken to extremes could make exoplanets unrecognizable compared to our Earth of today. But to most researchers, Archai is a purely artificial intelligent entity, lacking synthetic biology or organoid intelligence. Archai. SI measurements. And orders of magnitude. To comprehend Archailecs we must be somewhat numberphiles as opposed logophiliacs. The latter is a lover of words, the former a lover of numbers. Here are the various mind maps of units of measurements in time, orders of magnitude relevant to all things mentioned in this video. Feel free to pause or rewind to a point to watch this video on these mind maps. You might be wondering, how does counting the biggest numbers in orders of magnitude so large help us in any useful way? The answer is simple, it helps us comprehend new big facts and appreciate the advantages of being so small in the universe. I will list the biggest facts one may find online. The images above display highest orders of magnitude and curiously after yottabytes in computational mastery, there are brontobytes, geobytes, saganbytes, pigabytes, alphabytes and so on. The highest computational is the coperbytes where things become fuzzy and unknown. One must remember the computer units of measurements beyond brontobytes is highly speculative and the thinkers of the names emphasize this repeatedly. I am proceeding to describe the biggest facts about our observable universe in highest orders of magnitude. Our Milky Way has an estimated 100 to 400 billion planets. The number of galaxies in the observable universe is estimated to be 2 trillion. Our universe is estimated to be 100 billion light-years across. We are 25,000 light-years from the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Our homes are in the outer region but not too distant from the center. It is calculated and estimated there are 6 billion Earth-like planets in our Milky Way galaxy. Our Milky Way is around 100,000 light-years across in length, and 1,000 light-years thick in width. Our Sun rotates around the Milky Way. One rotation is estimated to be 225 to 250 million years. Astronomers calculated the Earth travels 368 km per second or 828 km per hour relative to the CMB, or so-called cosmic microwave background. The Earth has been rotating around the Milky Way galaxy for 4.54 billion years, thus we have completed 20 orbits around the Milky Way, where one rotation is 250 million years. The unobservable universe is estimated to have 20 to 30 trillion galaxies. It would take 160 nonillion Great Pyramids of Giza to match and equal the mass of the galaxy. The universe is 13.61 billion years old, the Earth is 4.56 billion years old. The stellar object, our Sun, is likely to go supernova in an estimated 5 billion years from the present moment. Scientists estimate there are 7 quintillion grains of sand on the planet, and that's not enough compared to how many planets there are in the universe. The Milky Way galaxy has 5 spiral arms. Our spiral arm is the Orion's arm. Orion's arm width is 3,500 1,100 parsecs light-years. The length is 20,000 6,100 light-years across. In broader sensibilities, Orion's arm spiral is 2.2134 e plus 8 s astronomical units in width. And the length is 1.26482 e plus 9 in AUs. And finally, I guess the ultimate question is how many planets are there in the observable universe? The estimate is 400 billion in our Milky Way galaxy, therefore scientists estimate there are 21.6 trillion planets in the local group of galaxies near us. Thus, it estimated the Virgo supercluster of galaxies where we are located has around 2 quadrillion planets. Ultimately, scientists, astronomers, and students estimate 21.6 sextillion planets in the observable universe. This video is designed to be informative. Please drop a comment, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching till the end.